We must ensure that this generation is not lost. We must support these children to find their way back to their classrooms where they belong. The negative impacts of child labor are felt by the whole society, not just the children themselves. They are our future. Their productivity matters to all of us. Limiting the children's potential limits society's potential.
The trajectory these trends will take depends on the policy choices and the responses that we make today. The 2030 Agenda and the Decade of Action offer an opportunity to make long-term gains for children left behind, including those in street situations who face multiple deprivations. The elimination of child labour requires multi-sectoral responses that include the private sector and local governments. Market conditions in rural economies are a crucial driver of low family incomes and child labour. And to make progress in numbers, this is where we need to start.
The International Year for the Elimination of Child Labour is the perfect opportunity to share experiences amongst those countries that are struggling against child labour and those that have developed good practices that are working. The 5th Global Conference on Child Labour, to be held in South Africa in 2022, will then be the moment to align and to redouble our efforts towards the achievement of SDG Target 8.7, to eliminate all forms of child labour by 2025. We must go beyond words, we must translate commitments into concrete measures and realistic objectives. After all the suffering caused by the pandemic, making child labour history is a crucial part of building back better.
Nearly 28% of children aged 5 to 11 and 35% between the ages of 12 and 14 are in child labour and are out of school. These young children are at a much greater risk of threats to their physical and their psychosocial health compared to other children. And for those children who are both working and going to school, the picture is also bleak. They're likely to lag behind their non-working peers in school performance and are more likely to drop out, limiting their prospects and their earnings in the future.
I think we must confess to our children that we could not protect you, dear children, from the age-old discrimination and the inequality which is growing, and the inequality which is inexcusable and immoral. And let me tell you, dear friends, that they all had injured bodies and shattered dreams. And none of them was working for local consumptions. These children were working for European and American companies in the supply chain. Child labor is not allowed in Europe. European companies cannot hire children. But how they can get impunity to employ children in their supply chain like this?
I'm Shireen Tadros, head of Amnesty International.